Hey, what's up, everyone? Excited to be with you guys today on Noise Hub. Today, I have something very special. I have a brand new plugin from Kit Plugins, and it's not just any plugin, it's a reverb plugin. It's the Blackbird Chamber A. And what we're going to do today, I have two different drum kits pulled up. And one's kind of a more straight ahead, mid tempo, up tempo thing, and one is more of a little bit of a power ballad, more space between the hits on the snare drum. So we're going to play with this reverb and see what it can do. Okay, so what I have now is I have a drum set pulled up, and it's just a standard kind of kick snare hat, up tempo. That said, we're going to unmute this reverb in its factory default setting, and right now I have reverb only on the snare drum. Okay, so the ceiling height is going to be our really good friend here because that's a little too long for this kind of a thing. So I'm thinking I want to stick with the C24, and I just kind of want to lower. You know what? Let's put the mics on the floor for fun, and let's lower the ceiling. Seems like a pretty good spot. Let's put just a tiny bit of pre-delay. I kind of like that. Now, let's try the saturation on drums because I think this could be fun. That's absolutely fun. All right, so here's without saturation. With. It gives it's like the reverb itself has an impact now, like an impact moment. That's very cool. So let's take below 100 cycles or so out of the room. What's being sent to the room? There we go. You know, something that could be fun is to give the room here just a little definition. So when we strike the tom toms or the backbeat of the snare drum, that it has a little more impact. So let's turn on the EQ. I'm going to turn up way too much so we can pick our frequency range and then dial it down. Okay, so I like that 5.6 as well as this 2.7. Check those out. So we get a little extra splat and snap out of the, the snare drum. Okay, so let's do this. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go down to 2.7 and add a little of that mid-range. And then we're going to go up here to 6.8 on the shelf. Then on the post, on the return, we're going to cut a little top end. Okay, now let's check it out dry. Now let's trim it to where it's about the right amount of reverb. Okay, now before and after. Very cool. I like that. Now, one thing I want to experiment with is feeding the hi-fi instead of the direct. Even with these things already addressed, I still want to hear that. Notice the change on the attack of the snare drum. That it's very noticeable. Here's direct one more time. It changes the sound of it's like the sound of the stick actually striking the head is being heard in the acoustic space now, as opposed to just the wash after that. That's fun. I want to go to a ballad where the drum, the spacing is a lot different. You know, we have a lot more space between the hits. Let's see. Yeah, now that's a kind of a song where we could use a longer space. So let's go up here to factory default, and let's start with the the PA speaker. Why not? Okay, I think I like the direct for this. It's the body of the snare drum versus this. That has just a little more attack, and I don't know that I'm wanting that on this song because it's we're going to want to make the drum sound further away from us. So let's choose the warmest option. See the difference here. Now the brightest. It's the top end sounds different. So when I was choosing the hi-fi, I heard more attack. Here, by choosing the 414, I don't hear more attack. It's kind of just, I hear more air of the room. So it's just a different way of approaching this thing. So let's slow it down just a little bit on the pre-delay. Just a little bit to where the attack comes through. Let's turn on the saturation because that is already quickly becoming one of my favorite parts. Filter out a little, just a little sub low, about 100 cycles, because I kind of want the meaty gush thing going on. In fact, just because we haven't done it yet, why don't we work on the low end on the EQ? Let's take it up to about 180 cycles and just kind of hear it. You know what we could do? Okay, and because this is a common thing, we could go to post, turn on the high pass filter on the return, use this to get the body we're looking for, but then trim away the fat, the excess fat here. They're only about 30 cycles apart, but that's a big impact for me sonically. Now let's try that trick of adding a little upper snap, but we won't add the real airy stuff. Okay, so here's the dry drums. Admittedly, a little boring. Now that is a little long. We're not trying to, kind of go full on Bryan Adams in the 80s. So let's lower it just a little bit. That would be a perfect spot for me. So we have enough sustain that it sounds very, stadium tour, rock band, but not enough that it's just ringing and ringing and ringing. So right around there feels like a good spot. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Well, I had a good time. And if you had a good time, head over to kitplugins.com and grab yourself a 14-day fully functional demo and see how this thing works in your own mixes, okay? Thanks for watching and happy mixing.